It starts now. 2025 starts now. In fact, it started weeks ago, but officially, we're here to kick off the top 10 running backs for 2025. No days off on this channel. I don't want to hear about your bad luck and you're going to leave and you're going to see us in March or April. You're not going anywhere. We're running it back. Even if you won, we begin now. Gibbs, I already alluded to yesterday, is my number one, but there's no concrete cemented in number one running back right now. You could easily argue Barkley, so don't get your panties in a bunch in the comments and go, yeah, I was trying, how can you not have Barkley? Barkley's absolutely in the conversation. Bijan, 100% in the conversation. You know I love my boy, Bijan. Let's break down the top 10 running backs entering 2025 if the season started today, if we're drafting today. All right, redraft, we'll maybe touch on dynasty implications. Ashton Jeanty is going to be in the top 10. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I'm not afraid to talk about Ashton Jeanty. Oh, but Smitty, you don't know where he's going to go. Bro, what are you talking about? You don't know where he's going to go? I already can hear the comments right now. That's kind of bold to have him that high when he hasn't taken a snap in the NFL yet, Smitty, and you don't even know where he's going.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
So we're here discussing the top 10 running backs, and right now I'm going to place this man, Jahmyr Gibbs, or leave him right there. You've seen him sitting there. Again, I don't need to hear the argument about why you believe Saquon. It's all very close. My opinion is this. My opinion is he's on an offense just like Bijan, just like Barkley, that is electric. It's going to push all three of them into touchdown scoring opportunity after touchdown scoring opportunity after touchdown scoring opportunity. There's no bad situation. Gibbs in Detroit, Barkley in Philly, and Bijan in Atlanta. And Bijan's really coming on strong with Penix Jr. Penix Jr. is the best thing that ever happened to Bijan. And so Bijan is, we'll talk about him in a second. The reason I have Gibbs here is he's the most explosive home run hitter in the National Football League. I would say Achane is right up there, but his offense is crippled. You know, there's nothing about the Miami Dolphins offense I like at all right now. You know, I can't stand Tua Tagovailoa as a quarterback. I can't stand Miami Mike McDaniel as a head coach. Achane's ranking here, it's going to be volatile to a degree, but he's still an absolute monster. But we might need to start considering, like, okay, where does he go if they don't fix things in Miami? Like, where do we put Achane in this ranking? And I'll go to you guys and see what you think before we drop each player after the big three. I'm going to drop the big three. The reason Gibbs goes one, most explosive player in the National Football League. Barkley's very explosive. I'm not suggesting he's not. But Gibbs can hit a home run on any touch. Not that Barkley can't, not that Bijan can't, but this guy has the most likelihood of exploding and taking any reception, any rush house, anytime he touches it. His acceleration, he's only getting better. This offense is phenomenal. Monty's a good thing for people that say, not with Monty there. It's funny. It's funny. You're cute. It really is cute. It's getting a little old, but it's cute. The fact that anybody thinks that Monty has anything to do with this ranking, that Monty has any relevance to where you're ranking Jahmyr Gibbs, is laughable. The Detroit Lions will run the ball 500 plus times a year. This man you only want getting 220 carries a game. There's more than 250 carries additional that we need to have somebody else carry the football. If it's not Monty, it's going to be somebody else. Gibbs is my one. Home run hitter, amazing offense. He's young and durable, even though he's had a little bit of soft tissue concerns in the preseason of each of his first 2 years. He's absolutely durable. He's been durable. He'll even get better, more of a PPR threat every single game he plays. He's been on an absolute terror. And he didn't even get used properly in the first 5 games of the season. Monty didn't get injured until recently. Gibbs tore it up from his 6th played game on. So I don't want to hear that, oh, well, Monty's coming back. He was already climbing to the number 3, number 4 running back spot right around 3 before Monty ever went down. You don't know what you're talking about. Jahmyr Gibbs, and if you need more information and more data to push you over the edge of even having him in your top 3, I don't know that I want to help you, but if you need a little assist, let me give you some scientific data that will prove all this. I don't need to tell it to you. Don't listen to me. Look at the data. But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megavolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10.
Got him.
C-Mac says Chase Brown. I love Chase Brown next year. Well, we love Chase Brown this year. But yes, Chase Brown's going to be phenomenally ranked high on this board. We love our boy Chase Brown. Okay, and before we close this out, some of you don't even know where Jahmyr Gibbs went to college. If you absolutely for sure think you know, don't put it in the chat and ruin it for everybody else. But if you're like 99% sure, and you're going to be wrong, where Jahmyr Gibbs went to college, put it in the chat. I don't think you even know what school he graduated from. His final year in college football, where did he graduate from? What university? I don't think even half of you know. I don't think half of you know. Someone put it in the chat. Old Miss maybe? Wrong, Jared. Hunter? Someone put Hunter in timeout for ruining it. Duke? Wrong. Wrong. Georgia Tech? Wrong. Bama? Wrong. All wrong.
Got him.
Okay, on to the next running back. My number 2. This is no shot at Barkley. I'll tell you why Barkley's where Barkley is once we get to him. But Bijan Robinson is my number 2. My number 2 RB for 2025 for a plethora of reasons. Number 1, the guy, all he does is score touchdowns. We made that abundantly clear at this point.
Hi, my name is Bijan Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring touchdowns.
And he's getting in a groove like no other. And his coaching staff's finally using him. Algier's becoming not just a afterthought, but he's not even like putting a dent in Bijan's production. He got Christian McCaffrey production at the beginning of the year. The touchdown production didn't quite match until mid-season, really. And the way Penix Jr. and Bijan are jiving together, it's absolutely phenomenal. And the way that Penix Jr., you could say, is getting his feet wet. They're trying to make sure they lean on the run to help support Penix Jr. It's all spelling massive volume for Bijan Robinson. And yes, you can handcuff him very easily. It's a fantastic situation for 2025. He's young. He's durable, okay? These are my top 2 running backs. I could easily flip them. I'll tell you that I probably won't have Barkley 1, but I could easily have Bijan or Gibbs 1 or 2. Now, Barkley is my 3. There's no disrespect or shade. You don't need to come at me and tell me how good Barkley is. We told you how good Barkley is. We told you.
Let him cook.
We told you. Mars man extraordinaire. Mars man mother freaking extraordinaire. The reason you've got to have a deciding factor between three almost equal monsters, and they are almost equal. They're 1, 2, and 3 in running back scoring. You can have your argument. You can get your panties in a bunch and go, Smitty, Barkley's number one. How can you do this offensive line? Again, offensive line, the offense, the potency of the offense is all on par. Each of their situations is on par with one another. The outlier or outlying factor here, the one thing that these two gentlemen don't share with Saquon is Barkley just got a 300 and what's his total at? And he's not even done yet. He's got the whole playoffs to go through. Whenever a running back rushes for over 350 times, there is a high likelihood of injury that next year. A super high likelihood of injury that next season. And this is a running back that, yes, he's kind of shaken free of the injury label as of this moment, but you mix in the fact that he's had, what's his total at? His carry total is on the year 2024, 345 attempts. 345 attempps. And the playoffs haven't even begun. So by the end of the year, what's he at? 450? Who the hell knows how many times they've run this man in the playoffs. That is a very, very, very high likelihood of injury comparatively to Bijan and Gibbs. So you consider offense, all potent. Situation, all potent. Yardage, any one of them could outscore the other in touchdowns or outproduce the other in yardage. The only factor that makes Barkley move to 3 from 1 or 2 is the fact that he is very, very much more likely anything could happen. Gibbs, Bijan, knock on wood, anything can happen to anybody, non-contact, whatever. But the odds of him suffering an injury with his injury history mixed with the 345 carry season through only week 17 with week 18 and the playoffs to come, there's a high likelihood he's going to at some point miss some time. Love Barkley. Am I moving him down to 4 or 5? Or do you like Barkley more than I do? No, you don't. Because we told you. But someone's got to fall to 3. This is my rationale. Here's where it gets extremely interesting. And here's where I think the divide happens in the industry. This channel more so compared to other channels. Inside our community, we're not going to have as much of a divide amongst us. But us versus the world, we're always against the world on this one. And for some reason, people are going to come in with one excuse after another because they hate the man. They've doubted the man. They've said the man won't do what the man's been continuing to do. They said he'd get hurt. They said his backup was better than him. They talk about his draft capital and say, oh, the backup running back, they drafted him so much higher than Kyren was drafted. Kyren Williams is an absolute phenom. And the projections and predictions about his ability to stay healthy all fell flat on their face. Kyren Williams is him. Kyren Williams is absolutely my number 4 running back walking into next year. I actually feel quite ashamed of myself that he's not higher than 4, to be honest with you. But Kyren exploded in 2024. And he did it all defying everybody's negative Nancy predictions, reactions. This team was up and down. I think Kyren is a fantastic 4, 5, 6 overall for running backs. Just a fantastic player. Now, the beautiful part about this ranking is there's no way the rest of the world's going to follow suit. There's no way. Kyren Williams won't even be a first-round pick. People will be talking about Corum started to take more carries, and I think he's going to get the panic's going to ensue. And it's going to be amazing to watch Kyren Williams climb up our boards, but fall down the ADP boards, and the confusion that sets in. as the song goes. Lightning crashes, and the fantasy football show will rise.
Let him cook.
There's definitely room for movability right here. 5, 7, 8, 6. I mean, I could see Kyren falling to 6. The beautiful part is this will be the guy you draft in round 2. You're taking Gibbs at 1, 2, 3 overall. You're taking Bijan at 1, 2, 3, or 4 overall. You're taking Barkley at 1, 2, or 3 overall. ADP will likely have him higher than at least one of these guys. This is my ranking. Here's where it does get dicey still. I hate his situation. His talent is through the roof. Another show player that people projected injury for. Another player that people said he couldn't hold up. He's not good. A player that's been suffering based on the situation. Kyren, great situation. Barkley, great situation. Bijan, great situation. Gibbs, great situation. This is where it does get very dicey, because this is the first player where we hate his situation, yet we're going to rank him ahead of a player that's in a potent environment. And that's where it does get a little dangerous. But before I go there,
he's Kyren. He's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyren. He can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
I apologize, Kyren. I hadn't played your video until right now. This is tough. This is tough because Chase Brown's in an amazing situation. Bucky Irving's in a very good situation. We've got Jeanty coming on strong and probably a pretty darn good situation next year if AR5 progresses and they do some good stuff in the draft. Despite despite the debacle of the loss and all that, it is something to where like you start contemplating, okay, do I go with a player like Chase Brown, who is very, very close to being listed? I might want to remind you, for those of you impatiently waiting. Breece Hall is hard to rank here. Breece Hall is not, I'm not going to name Breece Hall. His situation is bad. His situation could get better. Achane's situation could get better. Maybe the Dolphins figure out a way to bring in a backup like some rookie that it's kind of like the Brock Purdy situation where they set themselves up beautifully. I can't help right now but to put Achane number 5. Given the talent level, given that there's no other running back but Jahmyr Gibbs that has the explosive ability, the quickness, the ability to be a home run hitter, the top capable running back in the National Football League for outscoring everyone on the year, like having the biggest running back week of the year, the 200 yards and 5 touchdowns. This guy has that capability. And he proved throughout the entirety of the season he can hold up. Everybody predicting him to get hurt looks like a fool right now. Everybody wishing for his demise and fall. And everybody celebrating that he didn't really do anything in week number 17 and left people hanging because Miami Mike doesn't know how to coach and he doesn't know how to set up his team. And his team doesn't have Tua, falls apart. And he doesn't run Achane properly. These are all concerns. And they very much could have Achane moving around a little bit. This is an early 2025 ranking. Nothing is cemented in. This isn't my final take. If I change my mind a month or two from now, that doesn't make me a flip-flopper. I'm putting my stuff out there, wearing it on my sleeve. Of course it's going to move around a little bit. I'm going to massage the rankings as we go every step of the way. But right now, Achane is a pumpkin with the Dolphins' backup QBs. Clint, you don't know what you're talking about. He's not a pumpkin, bro. Okay? This guy's an absolute monster. Achane to the moon. He is my top 5, my number 5 in my top 5 RBs for 2025. For now.
Achane. Achane is the man. His haters call him small.
But he is 9 feet tall.
Achane is the man.
That's my top 5 right there. That's my top 5. Very, very subject to change. Very, very volatile. My number 6. Oh, man, it is so hard. I'll be honest with you. I haven't done this. This is all live. This is all genuine, organic, on-the-fly, impromptu rankings. This is not scripted out. I don't script out anything. I don't even know who I'm going next, to be honest with you. I'm sitting there going, do I want to put Bucky here? Do I want to put Chase Brown? Do I want to get crazy up in this mug? And I know some of you want Henry in here, and I just can't do it. Not at his age. What I would say, the caveat for Henry would be that you draft him early, sure. Like if you're going to draft him around here, but then you trade him by midseason. That's going to be my caveat this year. Jacobs, not yet. Not yet. I like Jacobs a lot. It's gotta be Cook. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be. First of all, Alex, it doesn't have to be anything. But as much as I've been backing Cook, it doesn't gotta be Cook here at 6. This is tough. I'm gonna go Ashton, Jeanty. I'm gonna go. I don't care what rookies do. If someone mentions Marvin Harrison Jr. With this take right here, you stop. Just stop. You don't even know ball. Stop trying to tie one year to another. Last year, this year, next year, none of it has anything to do with the next. Okay, Jeanty, this kid is special. This kid is Adrian Peterson. This kid is the next elite running back if he's in the right spot. And his draft ADP, his draft value is going to be so high. He hasn't been drafted, says Dre. Really, Dre? Really, Dre? Hey, Dre, you're the first one. Congratulations. The first one to say something ridiculous like that. Let's see here. Dre, timeout for 5 minutes. He hasn't been drafted. He hasn't taken a snap. No, Dre, you don't say. Hey, Dre, how about we don't include him in this ranking at all? And we be very cautious like Caleb. And we don't talk about it until we know exactly what's happening, because we wouldn't want to accidentally make a mistake, Dre, as we're ranking. Really? And this guy, are we worried about Kyren getting some work taken by Corum? These questions, no offense, bro, but you're the same person that says, but Monty, but Jeanty, he hasn't taken a carry yet. This guy, people said that about Barkley. People said that about Bijan. And Bijan would have been as good as we said he was. He would have been as good as he is now had Arthur Smith not been in the way. I'm not scared at all about 1 year telling a story about the next year. Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't scare me away from having big, bold predictions from Jeanty. And if you think I'm going to keep a guy like Jeanty off of my board, you're crazy. This is the next Adrian Peterson. Next up, we'll have more on Jeanty, don't you worry. Bucky Irving.
Get buckied. Buckied. Bucky. Oh, Bucky.
Bucky Irving, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolute marvel. This man runs a lot like, the best way to describe this guy is probably Jahmyr Gibbs meets, JT? Jahmyr Gibbs meets JT. He's kind of like his own RB. He doesn't really have a direct comp. This is a man. This is a man that I feel has no comp. He's something along the lines of a Jahmyr Gibbs meets JT. He's in a beautiful situation that's very much mirroring the situation of Jahmyr Gibbs and Monty, a very good situation. This is a good situation. Monty, I want Monty. I want Monty in Detroit. People that say things like, "Oh my God," I saw a comment in here earlier. I like Gibbs. I'm not going to lie, but it's very frustrating to see Monty in there. No offense, whoever said that. I don't even want to know who it is because I don't want to later on look down upon you. But people that say that, I don't even know what to do at this point with you. I don't know how to help you. He can't take every carry. They run 500 plus times in Detroit. You don't want him getting even 250. That leaves you more than 250 carries to go to somebody else. And Bucky's the hybrid of Gibbs, the comparable of Gibbs and Irving and JT. The comparable of Gibbs is the build, the way, the style. You don't want this man getting 215 carries. He's not that type of running back. He's a workhorse hybrid that graduated from... Anyway, Bucky is absolutely glorious, and this is a guy that can almost guarantee you 100 total yards and 0.7 to 0.8 touchdowns a mother freaking game. He's unbelievable. Alvin Kamara meets JT, meets especially Jahmyr Gibbs. That is what Bucky Irving is. That's what his workload will be. That's what his style of play is. And you certainly don't need him getting any more work than he's already getting. Rachaad White is a beautiful piece in this offense to keep him healthy. Bucky's the man. I feel really embarrassed having Chase Brown not even on the board yet, but he is right here. I think you could easily put Chase Brown here. You could easily do this for those that are very, very, upset about, that Jeanty doesn't even have a home yet. You could easily do this. That's a fantastic way to rank these guys. There's nothing wrong with that. We could sit Jeanty here very comfortably. He'll be able to be ranked right there. Yeah, Boise. Let's put this game on. By the way, this is fine too. This is absolutely fine. But if you want me to be me, if you're asking me not to change, this is who I am. This right here is me. And you can go next door to the Excel sheet Eric, who's not even going to put Jeanty on his board because he's too afraid to tell anybody anything when he doesn't even know. I don't know where he's going to go. According to my calculations, we can't make this kind of risky call yet. There's no way. Let me put this game on here. There we go. We got it on. I had it turned off there. You're sleeping on Chuba Hubbard? How am I sleeping on Chuba Hubbard? He's on this board and we're at number 8. Okay, this is where it gets really crazy. It gets really shaky. It gets really uncomfortable. And to be honest with you, I don't even know where to go from here. We've got Breece Hall. We've got JT. I feel like these guys have to be in consideration for this next selection. Jacobs kind of as well. Mixon didn't finish strong enough to even have confidence at all in his situation. Chuba, he's in the mix here. Sharps and Walker until we get clarification on one of those guys leading the backfield, and we might not have that be the case. They might share the situation. We got to leave them alone over there. But if, let's say, Walker gets traded, Sharps to the moon. Sharps could easily be in this mix. McCaffrey, I'm not touching McCaffrey in my top 10 running backs. Monty, not even close. James Cook, he's not even close to being a top 10 running back. We love him. He's a great running back, too. He can play like a running back 1 at any given moment. We've been talking about starting him all the time. You put Cook in. You don't ever put Cook on the bench right now. Cold weather games, lean on the run. Buffalo, he's been an absolute star. A good trade for player. But you can't. These are the guys. Who am I even missing anybody? Because I'm spitballing this. I'm absolutely spitballing this. Breece, Jeanty, Chase Brown, Bucky, Jacobs, Mixon, Chuba, Derrick Henry. I think I've got it. I mean, Kamara, no. Yeah, I don't think I'm missing anybody. I just wanted to make sure. Potentially, some other rookies might come into the mix, like in the 15 to 20 territory. But this is really tough for me. I can't look past the talent of Breece Hall if they fix their situation. I'd probably put him here. I think the 10 spot is really essentially a tie between, and I would put Henry here with the caveat of you've got to trade him. Like this is a grab bag right here. If push came to shove, I'd probably draft Taylor. If I had to, I would draft Taylor probably. But this is like a 4-way tie in that 10 spot. Hall, I just can't leave him out. He's too explosive. We've seen him do amazing things without a quarterback before. They didn't lean on him properly, but this was in 2023 when he had horrible quarterback play. He finished on such a high level that he ended up being running back 2 in fantasy, even without a quarterback, was Zach Wilson all year. I still believe in Breece Hall, and I think the Jets do make an aggressive move at QB, whether it be, let's say they got Darnold. I don't think Darnold's going anywhere. He's going to stay in Minnesota. Or Justin Fields, or they do something wild. I think Breece Hall is still right there. This is my top 10 running back ranking for 2025 as of this moment. Subject to change. Subject to have Jeanty fall 2 spots. Subject to have Bucky go here. Jeanty go here. Breece Hall go here. Chase Brown go here. Bucky go here. This could be, I could move this all over the map, but right now my gut is telling me Jeanty's the man. He's for real. He's an absolute force. Everybody and their mother is going to be saying the same thing later. People are going to be ranking him as high as we are come August. Right now, we're going to be ahead of the curve. We're going to be bold. That's the way we are. Think about all the talk about Chase Brown. Think about all the talk about JD5. Think about all the Penix Jr. talk. It's always bolder and it looks a little bit too bold at some point, right? But Jeanty's not going to look too bold. Jeanty's going to be an absolute superstar. And dare I say,
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is so large. Every planet in the solar system.
The Saturn men.
One small step for man.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars men. The Moon men. Dropping loads in outer space.
Space Monsters.
right. Where am I putting them? Moon, Mars, Saturn. I don't know if I'm going to waste. I'm not saying it's a waste. I might graduate them to the Jupiter men. But I don't know if I want to take up 3 of the 5 spots already.
The Saturn men.
One small step for man. One giant leap for Saturn.
Spaceman. Spaceman.
We're going to go Jeanty with one of the Saturn men spots. Put it in. Drop it like it's hot. Complain all you want. Act all scared. Hey, Smitty, I'm scared. I'm scared. The guy's never taken a snap before. He's a rookie, Smitty. I'm a petrified Peter. I'm a worried William. I'm a careful Caleb. I can't stomach this, Smitty. I just can't stomach that you're going to put a rookie, we don't even know his landing spot yet, on the Saturn men list. What a joke. It wouldn't be this channel. I wouldn't be me if I wasn't trying to crawl ahead of the curve, get all bloodied up on my elbows, look ahead of the curve for you and say, come on in, guys, it's safe. That's the way it is. It's going to be bold until it's not. And someday, very soon, this right here.
The Saturn men.
One small step for man. One giant leap for Saturn.
Spaceman.
This right here won't look bold at all.
Spaceman.
Come like, I don't know, even like June or July. It won't look bold at all. It won't look bold at all. It'll be like, oh, you're just putting all the great guys on there, huh? That's what it's going to be. And real quickly, back to this real quickly in terms of value. Top 3 pick ADP-wise, number 1 on my board. Top 3 to 4 pick ADP-wise, number 2 on my board. Number 2 running back on my board. A top 3 overall ADP value. Top 3 overall ADP on my board. Kyren Williams, number 4 running back. He's not going to go in the top 14. He might not even go in the top 15 overall. This is a value. Kyren's a value. Achane, people will be petrified of him. Again, he won't be anywhere near his valuation. His ADP is going to be easily, probably, I would say one of these guys drops into the top of round 3. If both of them don't. People are going to be worried. The panic will ensue. The garbage content creators out there that are going to be all scared and mad that they missed on Kyren and Achane and Gibbs this year and Bijan. They're going to be out there peddling that there's Corum's coming. Corum's coming for Kyren's job. What a joke. Achane can't evolve. What a joke. Jeanty right now, value. Number 6 running back on my board. He's nowhere near that ADP-wise. Bucky Irving, I bet you the world's kind of rising on him. It's probably semi-close to where his valuation might be. Chase Brown, same thing. We were ahead of the curve on these guys. People caught up. People caught up.
Get buckied. 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 Oh, Bucky.
Bucky Irving, ladies and gentlemen, Bucky Irving, what a monster. Breece Hall will be a value. JT probably be ranked about right. Jacobs probably ranked about right. Henry probably overdrafted a slight bit. Chuba probably ranked about right. Sharps and Walker probably pretty good values. McCaffrey probably overdrafted, overvalued. Cook probably right about right. Monty probably about right, if not a little overdrafted. Mixon, I don't know where the hell people are going to rank Mixon. What a absolute disaster of an ending for him. So that's the show. Super chats ensue. $20 hauler from Aaron gets immediate attention. Happy New Year, you're all. Smitty, you're the GOAT, bro. Congrats to all the champs. Thanks for all the insight and time. The grind never stops. Don't go anywhere, Aaron. Appreciate you with the $20 hauler, you straight up $20 super chat monster.
Super chat alert.
Okay, let me hit the rest of these supers, and then we'll get right into the phone calls real quickly. Got second in 2 leagues. Hurts to lose in the championship, but I know I'll come back better next year. Looking forward to the offseason content. Offseason content's already here, my man. We got 2 Jupiter men.
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is so large, every planet in the solar system could fit inside it. There are no bigger monsters than the Jupiter men.
Then we got 1 Saturn man.
The Saturn Men.
1 small step for man, 1 giant leap for Saturn.
Spaceman. Spaceman.
We'll get where are we at? What was I doing? Squirrel. One of these days I'm gonna forget them live and I'm just gonna start playing. Oh! Happy New Year, y'all. Congrats to all the league winners. Appreciate you, Superfish. And we're going to go over these bold predictions on the board, which we got to wait till the whole season ends because there's some Super Bowl predictions and such on there. We'll wait until the exact end of the season before we crown a winner of the $50 bold prediction board above my head. But if anybody wants to drop, we'll clear it out soon, and then we'll open it back up for 2025. But Superfish has probably the winning prediction. Predicted that Jonnu Smith would be a top 5 tight end, and I got out of my chair. I'm like, that is extremely bold. It was so bold at the time. Superfish to the moon. Manny, appreciate you. Had so much fun with Gibbs, Hubbard, J.K., Brown, and Bucky. Manny, appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you. We really 365. What do you think, Wes? I only talk about it constantly. I won my league. Congrats, Wes, to the moon, dropping the... No, Wes, we're joking. It's not 360. Of course it's 365. What do I look like? What do I look like to you? Congrats on your win. Smitty, I want to nominate BT to the Jupiter Men list. Don't you worry. BT will be on one of the boards. No question about it. Don't mean to spoil it for you. Happy New Year, brother. Thank you, Walter. Appreciate you. This one here from Ivan. Ivan says, Smitty just came here to say you are the best by a mile. You are a Saturn man. Yesterday I won the league and I wanted the most. I wish the league you wanted the most. Sorry, there's no punctuation. I don't know where it's starting. I wish you the best for 2025. Thanks for everything. Almost sounds like you're saying goodbye. And you're not going anywhere because 2025 started last week. Romario, appreciate you. Congrats and thank you for the super chat. I won my league last night with the final Kittle catch. Nice. It's always fun, bro. Adrenaline rush. Galore. I overcame Gibbs, overcame losing CMC, I overcame being 6th seed, made it to 4 straight finals, and this is my 3rd win. Anything is possible. Anything's possible! And on top of that, Romario, there are a lot of people that try and trick the seeding. The seeding sometimes is a blessing in disguise. You were the 6th seeding, you won the championship. It's a lesson to all of you trying to manipulate the seeding. Won it all, 11-3, drafted Barkley, JT, then Allen, picked up Bucky on waivers, lost Rice and Diggs, 2 hero running back in the top tier. QB produced all season. Congrats, Chad. Appreciate you. Nice work, my boy. Dial into the show. Do it live.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I'm going to pull up this game here on my phone. Bear with me as I do that. Phone lines are open. Let me get the phone lines up. All right, here we go. Game is loaded. Here we go. Got it right in front. Got it right in front here. Live. Penn State, Boise State. Let's do it live. 2025 starts now, guys. It starts now. If you want to call in and discuss specifically this information, that would be helpful because this is a top 10 running back show. So I would love to have this kind of conversation right now. So that's what I hope your phone calls are about. Jeanty to the Steelers, and you got a top 5 lock. I don't want him going to the Steelers. What are you talking about? That would not be. I don't know. It wouldn't be bad, but I don't think it's the best spot. You're that Russell Wilson supporter, who Russell Wilson is. I was proven right, Knights. I'm right on Justin Fields over Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is not him. Twitter's blowing up that he needs to be replaced. That he needs to be. They need to shove Fields into the lineup before it's too late. But I'm sure you're still on the Russell Wilson train. Stafford probably sitting, says Clint. I don't want him to the Steelers. And I don't think the Steelers, I mean, you never know. I hope they don't take him. As of right now, the draft order is in shambles in terms of trying to figure it out. It is absolute. The Giants' victory just tipped it all upside down. It's going to be wild. New England needs it so that they can trade out of it. Yeah. Steelers going nowhere regardless. Yeah, they're like Russell Wilson's been cheeks. 0-3 against playoff teams. Fields was 3-0 versus playoff teams. Fields was 4-2. Fields is I think 2-6 since starting his last 6. Yeah, I think or 2-4. I mean, I'm sorry, 2-4. Steelers D is atrocious too, says Togo. What's up, Josh Baker? You're live.
Hey, how's it going, man?
What's up?
Love the running back rankings. I do like Barkley at 3 as well. I think one thing you didn't mention, I think the big factor, and that's also Hurts vulturing touchdowns anytime they're inside the 2. You know,
Yeah.
But was wondering how you felt about how you thought Jeanty compared to Barkley as a prospect. Reason I asked, I took Barkley 5th overall in 2018. He's the best prospect I remember seeing at running back.
Well, I think it's pretty evident that the Jeanty's the best running back prospect really since Barry Sanders. You know, like you could argue that Barkley was right there, but I mean the numbers are astonishing for Jeanty.
They
are like he's literally chasing Barry all year, and it's just unbelievable. For anybody who doesn't know how good Jeanty is and you don't really watch college football, let me pull up the game log and I'll throw it up here, so you can see what he's been doing. He's and I know everyone's gonna say Boise State. He's not,
He doesn't have the same blockers, at the smaller school either.
People are just they want to root against him for whatever reason. But let me put up his game log here. His game log is just remarkable. It's crazy, man. It's so wild. It's so wild how anybody could even doubt him. All right, here's his game log for 2024. By the way, he only had the 2 fumbles, which is out of character for him, and I think he's the kind of guy that could go like a whole season without a fumble very easily. But let me put the stats on screen here so you guys can take a gander at how good this kid is. Here's Ashton Jeanty's game log. So 206. We'll go back to the bottom here. August 31st, 267 yards and 6 touchdowns. Game 2, 192 and 3 touchdowns. Game 3, I don't know if he even played because he only had 127 yards and 0 touchdowns, but 11 carries. 11 carries, 127. What a bad day at the office, though. Really. You only got 11 carries, 127, 0 touchdowns. Next week, as you can see, next week, 250. This is right here on Saturday, 9/28. 259 yards and 4 touchdowns. The next week, 186 and 3 touchdowns. The next week, 217 and 1. Rock out if you can mute real quick. 128 and 1, 149 and 2, 209 and 3, 159 and 3, 169 and 1, 226 and 1, and 209 and 1. I mean, he's just an absolute machine. An absolute machine. And
just two more maybe quick ones here.
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't know if you ever use like a metric like just for like extreme examples like PFF maybe, just if you're like kind of deciphering between two guys. One thing I noticed on there was Puka and Nico finished number 1, number 2. Makes me like them more than maybe somebody like Lamb, who he scored high on there, but he's
well, of course, all those stats. I mean, people think I'm not a stats guy. It's weird. They're like, I know you're not a stats guy, Smitty, but have you ever, like, I don't know what even made you say that comment. Like, bro, I use stats constantly. But the thing about me, the reason I get coined as a non-stats guy is because I have so much content. You couldn't possibly prep for a show that I'm doing. Therefore, there's only so much stats you can spit out in a 3-hour show where you're taking phone calls and impromptu questions. So of course I look at the data, bro.
It was Puka, and then I like Jeanty round 2. Dream scenario 2 I'm looking at a lot.
Yeah,
late first round, early round 2.
Yeah, Jeanty's going to go in the top 10 overall in the NFL draft.
Yeah.
In the NFL draft, he's going to go in the top 10 overall. That's going to put him in a position where he's not going into a cloudy environment. The thing that should scare you are when running backs in today's NFL fall into a very, very cloudy environment where a team says, I don't know if we need him, but we're in the 3rd round. Let's take a stab. Let's go get an RB.
Yeah.
So, and the rookie rankings are coming, by the way. I'm not going to reveal anything after Ashton Jeanty. Clearly, Ashton Jeanty is my number 1 running back, obvious. But I'm not going to reveal a thing until the videos come out. So just so everybody knows. My running back rankings will shock you.
Looking at PFF, like Lamar's the highest on there. He's the top scorer in fantasy at quarterback. It just seems like everybody's wanting to take Allen before him. I'm just wondering why Lamar wouldn't be ranked in the quarterback rankings number 1. He's grading out better. He's scoring a little more in fantasy.
Because he's had a bunch of crap years where he's gotten injured or he's had a horrible first part of the season. He hasn't been consistent at all. Josh Allen's been number 1, number 1, number 2, number 1, number 2 in back to back to back to back to back to back years. I was overthinking that. Yeah, he's never been anything but 1 or 2 since 2019, bro. So this is his first year coming out of him being just that running rookie quarterback that can't throw worth garbage. Dable turned him into an absolute monster. So number 6 QB in fantasy, that was him breaking into his own right at the beginning of his career. Since that season, he's been 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. And this year he'll probably finish I have him here already as 2.
Yeah.
I don't know what he scored in your format.
I was just thinking it is 3 kind of potential MVP. Because I think Lamar's going to get MVP this year.
He might, and there's no reason Lamar can't be your pick in 2025. I'm not even trying to stray people away from making him the number 1. But you asked how are anybody even considering this? Well, it's right in front of your face, bro. This guy's the most consistent quarterback in fantasy year after year after year after year. There's a chance Lamar's 1, but there's a chance he's 9. With Josh Allen, he's 1 or he's 2. That's it. So that's what that's why I'd say that. All right, got to go, bro. Appreciate you.
Oh, yeah, sounds good. Thanks, man.
All right, Mars Man Rock out. You're live. Hello?
Yeah, as far as Kenneth Walker, I feel I'm going to have a tough time drafting him because he feels like Swift from a couple years ago. You always get hurt, and I don't know.
Well, we can't draft him really anywhere solid yet. We have to wait until we know whether he's been traded or what. Like Charbonnet's a problem.
Yeah.
So, that's why I can't even consider, like someone said Walker in the top. No, you can't. The only reason someone would say Walker is you own him in a dynasty league and you're just hoping that the value is still there. And the talent's still there, but is the value still there? No one can say the value is still there with Walker yet. You have no clue. There's no way to know that yet. The value is not there yet. We have no way to know that. The talent is, but Charbonnet is a player we liked as much as Walker coming out of college. And as somebody alluded to a few weeks back, the moment that Charbonnet was drafted to the Seattle Seahawks, I think I closed the live stream and ended it. I ended the show early. I was so pissed off because this is one of my biggest rookie talked up prospects, and he goes and gets neutralized in the Seattle backfield. And so this isn't like some sort of we like Charbonnet all of a sudden. We've been the biggest Charbonnet supporters. This graphic right here, or this video animation was made when he was in his college uniform. So we absolutely been touting this guy. When he went to Seattle, we were devastated. So we got to wait for this situation to shake out. You know what I'm doing, Rockout? I'm not touching Kenneth Walker, and I'm drafting the hell out of Charbonnet. Like, if I'm drafting today, Charbonnet's on every single one of my teams. Why? Because no one's going to go near him. No one's going near him. Nobody. In fact, we might even put him on the Moon Man list tonight if I'm not careful. Right away. Go get him. Go get him. Anything else, Rockout?
Are you not concerned about his injury history?
Who?
Walker.
Yeah, I'm concerned about all of it. That's what I'm saying. You can't draft him anywhere remotely close to where we want to take him or where he kind of should go. He's a no go unless you get him at the bargain, and then you're hoping he gets traded. If he stays in Seattle, it's a problem. I can't go near him at anything close to what I believe his ADP will be. If you have him and he gets traded to Dallas, then all of a sudden you have a value. So I'm not looking to try and acquire him somehow, on the cheap. I think if anything, might avoid him in dynasty or redraft right now. Might trade for him for garbage in dynasty. Go sell him go get him for a second round pick in dynasty. Why not? If he gets traded to Dallas or something, or he gets traded to let's say he goes to Pittsburgh, and he's able to play there, or I don't know. There's a ton of places. The Raiders would be great, Then all of a sudden he becomes a diamond in the rough that you got for pennies on the dollar. You got him at an estate sale. But Charbonnet will be on every single one of my rosters because people will be petrified to draft him.
Yeah.
All right, my boy. Anything else?
That's it. I'll call back.
All right, man. JD5 to the moon. Congrats to your Washington Commanders again, bro. It's fantastic.
Also, I think them against the Rams is a good matchup if that's the matchup for the first round.
Yeah. All right, bro. Later.
Cool.
Rise Above says, JJ, James Cook, Kyren. I took Chuba, round 13, won the championship. Attaboy, Rise Above. Thank you for letting us know you are the man, the myth, the legend. Rise Above, doing it live. Doing it live. Okay. Phone line. Oh, we got Dre on the phone. Dre, you're live. What's up?
How you doing, Uncle Smitty? My bad. Yesterday too, I hung up, but I was still listening, so I wasn't leaving you hanging.
That's all right.
But I wanted to ask you.
I don't remember.
Why do you have Jacobs so low? I'm not criticizing, right? I just wanted to know because I played the guy who has Jacobs a while, so I've been watching a lot of the Green Bay games, and he was real good this year. Why do you think that he doesn't have as much upside going into next year?
Well, we're talking about
regarding ADP.
Yeah, I mean, no one was really high on Jacobs in this channel. Like going into the season, we had him as a Mars man. You know, we absolutely. But when you start looking at these other players, it's just more about, you know, I put him right here instead of Breece Hall? Sure. Like this is something you could easily do. Am I putting him above Chase Brown? I'm not. Am I putting him above Bucky? No. Am I putting him above Jeanty? No. So I just run out of spots. I mean, somebody's got to go above somebody. He's a little volatile, and he's also at a ton of mileage. So the injury risk with Jacobs is extremely high. But the upside's huge, and that's why he's still a top 10 potential running back. I mean, that's a respectable ranking. I mean, I don't know how many people in the live chat would even think about ranking Jacobs over Brown and Bucky. So, you know, you could say, well, then take the rookie out, and I'm accepting of that. If that's your take. This is a bold stance. I've already made that abundantly clear that this is going to go against the grain. Jeanty at 6 is going to ruffle feathers, but that's who I am. So you take Jeanty out of this. Who you ranking above Jacobs? Are you ranking Jacobs over Bucky and Brown? It's okay if you are, but is that what you're trying to tell me?
Oh, me? No, I was just asking just because, you know, as I'm getting ready for the next year, and then, you know, I know you were pretty early on it.
Yeah.
That was a guy that I was eyeing up. So me coming into this video, I was like, wow, that was pretty surprising.
Well, but that's what I'm asking. If it's surprising, would you rank Jacobs above Chase Brown? It's okay if you would.
Me, what happens is, like, when I look at Green Bay, offensively, it seems like the offense kind of lives through him, you know, and like if Josh Jacobs isn't there, you know, they don't have a number one wide receiver. That kind of seems to be the problem. You know, obviously I like Jaden Reed's game, but they don't seem to believe in him, right? So it seems like when the game's on the line, they're looking for guys, like they're looking at Josh Jacobs to come through, you know, in those big games. He gets touches early on, he gets hot early on. When I look at Cincinnati, it's like, well, Brown is kind of like an afterthought to Jamar, you know?
I don't know that I agree with that. I mean, Brown is he's utilized, like everything you said about Jacobs is correct, but it's almost like you're saying that those same things can't be said about Bucky and Chase Brown, and they can. Like these guys are they're the centerpieces of the rushing attack. Like having a more potent offense, like Cincy's better for the run than saying, okay, what if teams stack the box like tremendously next year because Love didn't quite prove himself this year. I mean, there's a give and a take on all that stuff. Bottom line for me is there's no way, even though I love Jacobs, there's no way I'm ranking him above Chase Brown or Bucky. And that's where the end of the line is. You know, Jeanty, again, if you want to take him out, that's fine. But this right here is you're splitting hairs. Jacobs over Irving, Jacobs over Brown, Brown over Jacobs. Like, those are really close calls. I don't think anybody should have I'm not saying you do, but I'm saying if anybody's watching, you can't really have your panties in a bunch over this trio right here.
Yeah. No, you know, definitely learn from watching the channel a little bit. So I'll definitely, like I said,
I could be wrong.
Just to get that education. You know what I'm saying?
I also could put Jacobs at number 6 a month from now. Like, I reserve that right, and that doesn't make me wrong or flip flop or anything. It'll be my process. Very few people come out here and put everything on their sleeve this early on. Like, you think this stuff's not going to change? It absolutely will. And I make no apologies about ranking, let's say, Jacobs 9 here and then 6 later. Like, some people go, oh, now you're like Jacobs, so you're coming around on him. Like, no, we're doing an early ranking, and a lot of news will come in. A lot of different things influence a lot of different things. And this is early. This is early, making a statement here with Jeanty. Maybe I pull that down a little bit 2 or 3 spots later. Doesn't mean I hate Jeanty or I'm doubting Jeanty. This is just a quick, I did this impromptu too. I didn't prepare or have a script or even know what I was going to do. The only thing I knew was the top 3.
Yeah.
I didn't even know if I was going to put Kyren 4 until I was on the spot live on the show, and I just did it. You know, so this is all
I
all
appreciate
natural,
y'all,
baby.
Smitty,
All
all the time.
natural. All right, Dre, gotta go. Later. All natural. It is arguable though. Like Jacobs going even 6 is fine. Like you have Jacobs at 6, I'm fine with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But with the way he worded it was like, how can you, or I'm shocked at, or whatever, and it's just like, how can you be shocked? You know, nothing against Dre, but that's if someone says I like Jacobs 6, you know what I'm going to say on the phone line? Awesome, I could definitely get behind that. I like him kind of at 6 too. I kind of like Jacobs at 7 too. I kind of like Chase Brown at 6. I kind of like Bucky at 9 because I like these other guys, and I kind of like Bucky at 6. Like I like it. I like this all mixed. It's like a blender. But when someone comes in and says, how can you, or I just don't see, or it's wild to me, or it shocked me, like how could any of these 6 right here, 6 through 10, 6 through all of these 10 shock anybody? How could you be shocked by it? Maybe you like Chuba more than the average bear, and Chuba's right here for you, or right here. That doesn't surprise me at all. Doesn't shock me that you have Chuba 7 or 8. Nobody should be shocked. When someone's shocked about something, that means they've cemented in. And honestly, I haven't. I haven't cemented in anything yet. Happy New Year to you all. Yeah, Jeanty, the top landing spot for Jeanty. I mean, Cleveland, Dallas, man, would Minnesota be good? Aaron Jones is a free agent. I don't think we talked about Minnesota the last time we had this conversation. Top free agents in 2024, Darnold, Fields, Russell Wilson. Let me know if I'm missing anybody. Diggs, Higgins, Godwin. You remember this board. We're back with the boards, baby. We're back with the offseason boards, the draft boards, the rookie board, the mock draft board, the NFL draft board, the free agent board. The free agent pool is so light. We used to have positionally different boards. It is a light year for free agents, so this is it. I put it on one board, and it's even nicer that way because now we don't have to flip back and forth. The top free agents in 2025 are Higgins, Godwin. I mean, this is okay. The rest of these guys, Hollywood's pretty solid. Diggs could be okay, I suppose. Najee, I don't know how Najee's going to be elsewhere. Aaron Jones, he's 97 years old. Fields, Darnold probably going back to Minnesota. Once these happen, we'll tag them as signed and on a team. Is Jaylen Warren might be on the list, but he might be a restricted free agent. So I'll have to look, and I'll include restricted free agents, and I'll notate it later. But I think he might be a restricted free agent, if I remember correctly. But we're talking about the Jeanty landing spot. Maybe Minnesota's the best spot of them all. Maybe Minnesota is the best spot for Ashton Jeanty. Now, will Minnesota have a high draft pick? No, they're going to have to trade up to get him. Of the teams that have the ability to maybe draft Jeanty naturally, organically, without trading, Browns, but would they have to move down because it might be a little too high? Raiders, but they need a quarterback unless they do something crazy like go get Fields or they somehow get Darnold, which I don't think will happen. Jeanty to Dallas seems like it could be the perfect fit. They might, depending on where their draft slot is, they might have to move up just a touch to get it done. Jacksonville would be a pretty good spot for Jeanty in a way. If they drafted him high enough, they would start him. Please no Chicago. Please no Chicago. Draft the offensive line, please. Do your job. Do your job, Ryan Poles, or get canned. Do your job. Can Ryan Poles. Bring someone else in that knows what they're doing. You draft Ashton Jeanty, I'm going to lose my mind. Absolutely lose my mind. All right, I'm out of here. I'll be back later tonight. Happy New Year. We'll be back right around A little bit near midnight Eastern. That's how we roll. So some of you might be out and about. Some of you might not be. I'm not going out. This is what I do. I sit in this cave all day creating content, writing articles, posting them on thefantasyfootballshow.com, which is all 2025 ready. Where do I have Ashton Jeanty on my dynasty rankings? Where do I have Ashton Jeanty on my redraft rankings? Where do I have Chase Brown on the redraft rankings? Where do I have Lamar in the Superflex rankings? Where do I have Ashton Jeanty in the Super Rookie rankings? Where do I have Ashton Jeanty in the rookie rankings? Where do I have Travis Hunter in the rookie rankings? What bold predictions are already up? What trade calculations can you cook up tonight? Get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com. Make sure you're a part of the Patreon. $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Best live chat group in the biz, according to me, in my opinion. And really all I do on this Patreon is, you see these live chat rooms, that's all I use it for. There's some content on there occasionally, but it's mostly just, hey, let's create a place where we can all, from the YouTube channel and the live stream right now, most everybody you see in here is in this Patreon. Let's funnel everybody over to a live chat app that's $10 a month because it weeds out the trolls. And we weed them out anyway. If you're going to cause trouble, I don't need your $10. I want a great environment. You know what I mean? So we'll kick anybody out that's causing problems right away. Get on over to the Patreon, patreon.com/thefantasyfootballshow. The link's in the description, but I'll drop the link right here so you can join the Patreon if you haven't already. It's 24/7, 365 live chatting with everybody you see here. It's just basically the live YouTube chat over there. Just going on. Everybody, moves on over there. Appreciate you all.
Get buckied. 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 Oh, Bucky.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask me to perform miracles on this channel. Smitty, make something amazing happen. And I say, you know what? I can. Watch this. Watch this right here. I'll take this and boom. And then out of nowhere, zoom in on this bad boy. Zoom in on that.
They laughed when we said he was about to be an unstoppable force for all to see. With Chase Brown.
He's a 5. JD5 is the only 5.
JD5 is him, and now all can see. He graduated from Himothy University. Unleash the Washington Kraken. JD5 to Saturn
and beyond.
To Saturn
and beyond.
We have our Jupiter men
The Saturn Men.
And our first Saturn
small
man,
step for man, one
Ashton
giant
Jeanty.
leap for Saturn.
December 31st. December 31st, before
Spaceman.
wow, Jeanty just fumbled. That was the uncharacteristic fumble, but they got it back. They just got it back. Jeanty, December 31st, before the new year, before 2025, actually the calendar year officially kicks in. Remember that we had three predictions already up. Ashton, you know what? Let's put one more up. God, we're gonna have four of them, 4 predictions up before we're gonna run out. We're gonna run out so quick. It's got to happen. I want these out there on record. This is why you never leave the show early, before the season even begins. Officially the calendar year 2025 even begins. Let's put them on the board, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is. I give you Saturn Man number 2. Bucky, Irving. Saturn Man number 2. I'm real proud of this one. I'm real excited about this one. Bucky Irving is number 2. Let me see if I can get rid of this graphic here. I'm sorry. There we go. Bucky Irving, number 2. Let's do it. Let's run it back.
The Saturn Men.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
Spaceman. Spaceman.
Yeah, the Jeanty fumbles are uncharacteristic of him. So I hope it devalues him. I love it. Bucky and Jeanty. So December 31st, before the ball drops, keep this in mind. We have four bold predictions up. 2 Saturn men, 2 Jupiter men. The 2 Jupiter men.
The Jupiter men.
85
Jupiter
Gibbs.
is so large.
The Saturn men.
The Saturn Men.
One small
Bucky
step for man, one giant leap for
Get buckied.